I hope the markets continue to go up over time. I hope. It's not about hope. Yes, it's so important to have. You need equities. You need to have market exposure. But what part of your financial portfolio is truly guaranteed and also not correlated to the markets? And that's key. That's so important, is having an aspect that whether when the stock market's down, when crypto's down, well, I hope you're not banking on crypto for retirement, but the stock market's down, real estate, whatever you're using right now to retire, whatever vehicle or vehicles, what do you have that's going to allow those things to recover when they're down? Because the last thing is you got $1 million portfolio, goes down 30%. Now you're down to 700,000, and you were planning to take, if we're going off the 4% rule, you were planning to draw 4% from your portfolio. Well, 4% from $1 million, that's 40 grand. Now it drops to 700 grand. I mean, that income, your income is dropped drastically. And what if you had something else in your portfolio that you could draw from, take income from, and still get that $40,000, whether it's 4% or 7%, doesn't matter. It's what else in your portfolio gives you the opportunity to still draw the amount of income you need to allow those other assets or assets to recover, so that you don't have to deal with that scenario right there. Okay, and that's just so important. I get fired up about it because it's not talked about enough. The traditional advice is you maximize your 401k, you go into retirement, you have Social Security, you should be good. You should be good. Why is the conversation not let's guarantee that you'll be good? And there's not many things out there that truly offer guarantees. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about, there's two main products that I'm going to be talking about, strategies that give you these guarantees. Number one is we're going to talk about whole life insurance, okay? Now, hear me out. This is where it's really important to look at the aspects, the key elements to a whole life insurance policy. So overall picture, before I dive into it, remember, we're trying to find ways to guarantee an aspect of our financial portfolio, of our retirement. That's not saying ditch the 401k, ditch the IRA. No, that's not it at all. It's what else could we do, whether it's rebalancing our retirement portfolio, whether it's shifting some money from a 401k or an IRA or another bucket of money over to this vehicle. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just giving you the education around the options. But that's what we're looking at. What are the key aspects of a whole life insurance policy? Number one, guaranteed growth. Okay? That's so important to be aware of. There's not many vehicles out there. There's not many financial tools where you can say, I am guaranteed to make money every single year. Whole life insurance is one of them. You're going to get guaranteed interest every single year with a whole life insurance policy, regardless of what the stock market's doing, regardless of real estate, crypto, etc. You are guaranteed to get growth. Now, why this is so important the next thing that's so important is liquidity. 401ks, you've got the 59.5 rule. Traditional IRAs, you got the 59.5 rule. If you access that money early, you're going to be whacked with a 10% penalty, and on top of that, you have to pay taxes too. Well, with a whole life insurance policy, you don't have the 59.5 rule, and depending on how you go about accessing the money, whether it's a withdrawal of your basis or you're taking a loan against the policy, if it's set up properly, that's key. I have other videos talking about that. That won't be taxable to you, okay? Very important to be aware of. And how I want to tie this into what I was talking about in the beginning of the video with volatility is, let's say, we'll use the same example. Let's say your 401k, you had $1 million in there. You're planning to withdraw 4% a year, roughly 40 grand before taxes, okay? What happens when the market goes down? Well, if you had another asset in your portfolio that was stable and growing, and you had a significant amount in there, not even a significant amount, just enough to cover the income you were going to take from your 401k, 40 grand. Let's say you had 100,000 in a whole life policy sitting there, and the markets crash and you need to take 40 grand out. Well, instead of taking it from your 401k that year and depleting that even more on a down year, what you could do is you could tap into your whole life policy. Because oh, I've got this bucket of money, that's going to continue to grow. It didn't tank with the market. I can access that and use that as a buffer essentially for that down year. And what if you have another down year? You could access it again and still get another 40 grand of income without having to touch your underperforming asset, if you want to look at it like that. And then let's say, this is all hypothetical, but let's say year 3 is when things recover back to where they were, which would have to be a significant, return. But let's say that did happen. It's like now you have this other bucket of money, your 401k, that's recovered, and you don't have to use the whole life anymore. It's like, okay, I can go back to drawing income from the original plan because my portfolio recovered, or maybe it's even higher than where it was before. Now I'm going to get that 40 grand of income or whatever the number is, and my portfolio hopefully is still going to grow. So I hope that made sense, and I put a lot of emphasis on that because having a buffer asset, is what I like to call it, is so important because it just gives you breathing room and peace of mind knowing I can still get the income I need from somewhere, and also not deplete my retirement accounts even more so because the market didn't return. So that's where this comes into play. And another thing I want to make very, very, very clear is that whole life insurance, any life insurance product rather, they're not retirement vehicles. They're not retirement alternatives. You'll see a lot of people online saying, oh, like the whole life on IUL is so much better than a 401k and IRA. You can't even compare the two. It's comparing apples and oranges. They're completely different vehicles. You can't compare them. And it's not meant to replace your retirement. It's meant to be a buffer asset. In this context, at least, whole life insurance. It's a great alternative. It's a great buffer asset. It's a great addition to your financial portfolio to strengthen it, give you more peace of mind, and ultimately just give you more options at the end of the day.